According to ancient texts and your Bibles today, Jesus Christ was born in Bethlehem, 10 kilometers south of Jerusalem. Why am I bringing this up? I promise you I have a very good point. 10 kilometers south of Jerusalem, which as we know today is located in the Middle East. Even back then, that was still geographically the location. The Middle East is where Jerusalem has and always has been located. There are some historians, African historians, and maybe some Black scholars and historians who believe that the Middle East at one point was a part of Africa, but it's separated. Everything has borders. Even now, with the 54 countries inside of Africa, they are all divided by borders. But the point in me bringing this up is that if Jesus Christ was born between 6 and 4 AD in Bethlehem, 10 kilometers south of Jerusalem, how do we as Black people claim Jesus as one of us, but deny the African people? Allow me to say this again so that I am very clear. If Jesus Christ was born in Bethlehem, 10 kilometers south of Jerusalem, which sits in the Middle East, which we know of as the Middle East, connected to Africa, how do we as Black people claim Jesus as Black, as one of us, but deny the people of Africa as one of us in the same breath? This is what I really need us to start thinking about. We as Black people, and I understand we think emotionally. They know. This world knows how to trigger us emotionally. I need you to understand that I am not the enemy. I am not the one who created colorism. I am not the one who created colonialism. I am not the one who created the transatlantic slave trade. I am not the one who created slavery in America. I am not the one who created police brutality, who created systemic racism, who created racism, period, who created race. I am the one who is trying to dismantle that system. I am trying to help us see the bigger picture. In America, including us as Black people, there's a total of 340 million of us. Now that's just I'm rounding it down. 340 million of us in America. Even America knows it needs allies. With 340 million people, it still needs allies. It has to ally with the people of New Zealand, with the people of Australia, with the people of the Philippines. It has to ally with these people. Why do we as Black people think when we make up only 42 million, why do we think we don't need to ally with anyone when it comes to finally getting what we deserve? I want you to understand that when I talk about Africa and the connection, I am not denying the fact that us as Black people in America, our ancestors who were brought here, I am not denying the fact that justice is owed to us, to those ancestors, to those ancestors who have died brutally, who have not been served justice, who still to this day have not been served justice. I am not denying that. I am trying to help you see the disconnect. There is a disconnect between us as Black people. When did the African stop being African? And what I mean by that, please allow me to explain. At one point, the colonialists, the Europeanists, even the Dutch, okay, you had the Portuguese. Everyone took a piece of Africa, took people, they kidnapped these people and transported them globally. When did the disconnect happen where we stopped seeing that these people came from Africa? That those ancestors were African who were brought here. When did we start seeing when did we start disconnecting that? I am trying to help us think, because until we realize that we need to ally, we will not get what we are owed in America or anywhere globally. The African person who was ripped from their culture, ripped from their home, and brought to the America is the same African who was ripped from their culture, ripped from their home, and brought to Europe, brought to Germany, brought to all of these other places around the globe. I am not here. I am not a historian. I'm not a historian. I am trying to help us think psychologically, because we keep attacking each other. And you can look at my video, my previous video, and just see it. You can see it through the comments. I am trying to help us think bigger. Think bigger. Because until we do, we will not get what is owed to us. Our ancestors suffered, and that is still not recognized globally. I know that some of you made comments about the fact that what happened here in America, that you are only focused on getting justice in America. Or you may comment that the African person, that they started it. They started this war with us. They don't like us. You know, they have this condescending attitude towards us. I know that there is ignorance everywhere, but we must be willing. I am talking to us here in America. I cannot speak for the people in Africa when I am not there. I cannot tell them that the language they should be learning when they are from the Congo, that it should be, I'm sorry, my brain froze for a moment. I can't tell them that they should be learning Lingala or Swahili instead of French. I don't have the place to tell them that. Even though I know it to be true, I cannot tell them that the continent of Africa is, as long as you still go by the name of Africa, you are still giving the colonized part of your history power by keeping the name that the Europeans gave. I don't have the place to tell them that. I don't have the place to tell them that they should all meet. All of the countries should meet and pick a name that fits them. It doesn't mean that it's not true. I am focused on us here. And then when I do get to Africa, once I do learn more languages, then I can speak to them. But this is a delicate situation to ease into. You have to be delicate. And I have to meet people where they are at. So I am meeting people. I am meeting you where you are at. But I am also telling you the importance of unity. The 42 million of us here in America, we are divided by religion. We are divided by homophobia. We are divided by transphobia. We are divided by politics. The list goes on. I did not have to take a class on this to see it. Go to your YouTube channels and see it. See how this last election caused a divide between the black woman and the black man here. The black man who is for abortion and the black woman who is against, the black man who is for the abortion law and the black woman who is against the abortion law. Okay. We don't even have all 42 million of us united here. But I am trying to help us see that in order for us to have what we deserve, we look at a Statue of Liberty. That I want us to see the importance that when you look at that Statue of Liberty, it does not represent the history. It does not represent those tears of those ancestors, those people who were enslaved. It does not represent that. We are owed so much and we are barely scratching the surface here. But we as Black people first must stop denying our connection. And we need to see that when we say things like, I'm not going to Africa because it's dirty, it's a poor place, I'm not going there, how that makes us look. How we are contributing to a system of believing that we are somehow better than. A lot of you who may have commented on my page I'm pretty sure have not even had a full conversation with someone from Africa. I speak to people from Africa daily. And the funny thing is that they have no idea that I'm from America. They are surprised when I tell them I'm American. They say, oh, American. It does not matter if you are Black in Jamaica, if you are Black in Congo, if you are Black in America, Black in Europe. We all globally suffer because it's connected. It's the same system. It does not favor, it does not say, well, you're Black in America, so I'm only going to be prejudiced against you as Black in America, but I'm not going to be prejudiced against those who are Black in Jamaica. The Pan-African Union believes that no matter where you are as a Black person, that you are connected. There are African tribes still alive today that existed over 100,000 years ago. I'm trying to help us see the importance, because when we do not know our connection, we don't fully know who we are. The family tree does not stop at 1619. I don't want us to cut that off. And I am saying that I want justice to be served everywhere. Justice here in America for us. But we have to stop thinking individually, selfishly, and start thinking selflessly and collectively. There's 1.3 billion people in the continent of Africa. Of that, 80% are melanated people. Don't you think it would be wise for us to ally with the just over 1 billion melanated African people for us to finally get justice? I am telling you, the 42 million of us who are already divided here are not going to get justice, the justice that's owed here in America. We spend money that still have the faces of the founding fathers who put into law slavery. We are more powerful in numbers. So the more of us who have an idea, who have a plan, the more of us who can come together with these plans, we can finally bring about true liberation and freedom for our people. Not just in America, but around the globe. I am not just thinking about us here in America, because I know that African person, that African family who was separated by the mother being sent to America and the father being sent to Europe, that they are connected. So are we saying that because the father was sent to Europe that we can't fight for the people who were sent to Europe? I'm trying to help us think collectively. Selflessly. Those of you who get on my page and you're shouting at me, you're screaming at me, is that coming from the heart, or is there something happening? Am I triggering something in you? Because when I am talking here, this is not about me. When I fought for the company that I worked for, who refused to acknowledge you as a Black person, as American, I fought for you as a Black person in America. How many of us are actually standing up to systemic racism in its face? I have done this. I am doing this. So those of you who think that I am not old enough, that I am not wise enough, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I won't fight you or argue with you on that. All I can do is show you, keep showing you, keep talking to you. And I hope that one day you will actually listen to what I am saying. We can't accept Jesus as one of us, but deny the African person. And for those of you who deny your connection to Africa, I welcome you to please take the African Ancestry DNA test. I mentioned ADDI. They have partnered with African Ancestry. They are calling us home. But we as Black people in America, we are sending Africa to voicemail. We are sending them to voicemail. They are calling us home. Now, if you as a Black person, you have hair like this. Okay, I'm talking about after you wash it, dry it, you have hair like this. If you take this Ancestry DNA test and it shows this African Ancestry DNA test, and it proves that you have 0 African ancestry, then please, I welcome you to share your results. I will go live and I will talk with you. But it still does not eliminate the fact that there are only 42 million of us, and we still do not have reparations. Reparations is a sensitive topic. Reparations needs to be paid out. There is so much that needs to go behind reparations. It needs to carefully be handled. not just about money, but we need to ensure with reparations that this is going to cover us for centuries. Centuries. And I'm not just talking about in the form of money. So I ask you, what good does remaining divided, what good has that done for us as Black people in America? What good has come of it? And what good will come of us finally reuniting as Black people globally? What good will come of that? Think bigger, because we have been taking baby steps for way too long. I am tired of us dealing with racism in this country. I am tired of us not being protected in this country. When are you going to get tired too and stop directing the anger towards me and start directing it where it belongs?